Hey, I'm Steven and this is Solving the Money Problem. If you're new, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. So in this video, we're talking about Tesla's $1 trillion secret. Now I know, a few of you thinking, come on Steven, what are you doing mate? You've really gone down the clickbait hole today, haven't you? $1 trillion, come on, ha ha ha. Here's the thing, I'm dead serious. In recent videos, I've discussed in detail some of Tesla's Trojan horse strategies, where on the surface, it looks like they're doing one thing, but if you dig a little bit deeper, you realize there's a whole other strategy at play. And in this video, we're going to be looking at the latest examples of another Trojan horse strategy at play that the entire stock market is completely asleep to. I can guarantee you, zero coverage of this will occur in the mainstream finance media next week, despite the fact that it is enormously important news and literally worth trillions of dollars over the long term. So with that said, let's get into the video. If you love crypto, stocks, and free stuff, or just want to help out the channel, check out these great offers. BlockFi are launching the world's first Bitcoin rewards credit card. People in the US can earn 1.5% Bitcoin back on every purchase with no annual fee using the BlockFi Bitcoin rewards credit card. Check out the link in the description. And for a limited time, you can get up to $250 in crypto bonuses when funding a new account on BlockFi, where you can use cryptocurrency to earn interest, borrow cash, and buy or sell crypto. If you want your free crypto, use the link in the description. And if you'd like up to 2 free stocks, check out the link in the description to WeBull. If you open a new account, you'll get 1 free stock valued up to $300 just for opening an account. And if you make an initial deposit of $5 or more, you'll get a second free stock valued up to $2,000. Seriously. Free stocks? Yes, please. And finally, if you're in Australia, the UK, or New Zealand, you can get a free stock with stake, also linked in the description. Thanks so much for your support, guys. Let's get back to it. So what exactly are we talking about in today's video? Virtual power plants. Now, I'll be honest with you guys. Until a few years ago, I knew literally nothing about the grid, and I mean nothing whatsoever. However, since investing in Tesla in early 2016, I've come to learn a hell of a lot more. Tesla introducing their Powerwall, their solar products, and I started digging into this, of course, being a shareholder. Very important to understand how this stuff works. And in fact, I've got a great book I can recommend to you guys and girls. If you're kind of clueless on how the grid works today, here's a great read. The Grid, I'll put a link in the description. You can read this on Audible with a free trial if you're not already a member of Audible. In either case, this is a great way to prime yourself on what's going on and the huge potential for disruption that is not only imminent, but assured to happen in the coming decades. This disruption is literally worth trillions of dollars, and Tesla is leading the charge. F my life. Why did I say that? Alright, enough bad jokes, I promise. First of all, let's look at a little bit of history of Tesla virtual power plants. So here we are looking at an ancient version of Tesla's South Australian virtual power plant website, which is no longer live, at least as far as I understand, but good thing, the internet never forgets. So let's read a little bit about this project. Join South Australia's virtual power plant. Together, we're building the world's largest virtual power plant to help lower energy costs and increase grid stability across the community in South Australia. 50,000 homes in the network, 250 megawatts of power capacity, and 24/7 access to backup power. Now, this was actually available to a number of people, including businesses as far as I understand, but also there was a focus on helping supply solar and home batteries to low-income households to help subsidize their energy bills. So this was a great project for the community and a great way for Tesla to test out their virtual power plant technology, improve their software, their energy management, etc. Tesla's South Australia virtual power plant project was essentially the same approach Tesla is now taking to deploying their autonomous software with full self-driving beta version 9 in the hands of around 2,000 selected customers. Get the software out there, get the hardware out there, use this to iterate, to learn, to improve, etc., then ultimately deploy this as a wide release. The reason South Australia was selected as Tesla's pilot project for their first virtual power plant is quite simple. In 2016, practically the entire state was subjected to non-consensual buggery, when practically every customer in the entire state lost power for a period of up to 3 or 4 days. Yeah, just imagine that, a statewide blackout in 2016. What is actually going on? This highlighted huge vulnerabilities in the existing energy grid and provided Tesla a great opportunity to step in, to stabilize the grid to avoid future incidents like this, and to pilot their virtual power plant technology. Let's watch the promo video. So a few of you at this point in time might be wondering to yourself, what's the big deal? Rooftop solar, battery, you save some money on your bill, who cares, whatever. But the key here is grid stability. Some of you may not know this. In fact, most of you probably don't know this unless you've actually looked into the way the grid works. I didn't until I did this myself. You do realize that today, energy is generated, power is generated in real time based on real time demand. Literally, okay? It's not stored. I mean, yes, there's a tiny few exceptions, there's some battery, but generally speaking, when everyone gets home at 5, 6 p.m. in the afternoon on a hot summer's day and turns on their air conditioning, a bunch of coal-powered peaker plants need to fire up to increase the energy output so all these customers can actually turn on their air conditioning without suffering blackouts. This is actually the way things work today. Energy is generated in real time. This is absolutely insane. Just think about that for a moment. When you switch on an appliance, there needs to be a power plant producing power at that exact moment. Otherwise, you don't have power and or there's a blackout. This is nutty, and this is the way that the grid works today. So, when we talk about a virtual power plant having the ability to stabilize the grid, this is what we're talking about. Just imagine there's a huge surge in energy consumption out of the blue. Rather than needing to fire up a bunch of polluting peaker plants, or in the worst case, residents suffer enormous blackouts, the virtual power plant can immediately respond in milliseconds to the surge in energy demand by diverting some power to the people that need it at that point in time using Tesla's energy software. And in exchange for participating in a virtual power plant, customers will typically either receive a small financial payment or subsidized energy products or subsidized energy rates. Now, there's other aspects to virtual power plants as well. One of the most obvious is if you have a home battery, you can pull energy from the grid when it's at its cheapest, usually in the middle of the night when nobody's using energy, and then sell it back to the grid during peak rates when everybody's using energy and perform energy arbitrage. Now, this can be done with Tesla's software autonomously. So if you have a home battery that's actually able to participate in the energy market autonomously with Tesla's software, you can perform energy arbitrage while you sleep or while you're at work, and you literally have a money printer installed in your home. So there's really two core components to a virtual power plant. From the customer's point of view, energy market participation in the forms of energy arbitrage, and also, more importantly, grid stabilization. So here's where things get really interesting. Let's head over to electric. July 16th. Tesla launches its own virtual power plant with Powerwalls to help California's grid. And by the way, for those of you that don't know, California is in big trouble in terms of the grid, major trouble coming ahead. So this is an extremely important, critical move from Tesla. Otherwise, a lot of Californians are going to be literally in the dark in the next year or two. So this is a really important project. A lot of residents probably don't even understand what's going on, but Tesla has identified an enormously important opportunity here, and they're taking full advantage, deploying everything they've learned from the South Australia virtual power plant and now launching one in California. Tesla is launching its own virtual power plant with the Powerwall in California in order to help the grid, which is expected to be under pressure this year. A virtual power plant consists of distributed energy storage systems, like Tesla Powerwalls, used in concert to provide grid services and avoid the use of polluting and expensive peaker power plants. Tesla launched such an initiative in Australia in partnership with the local government in an attempt to reduce electricity rates. In the US, several companies like Swell have used Tesla Powerwall battery packs to build their own virtual power plants and offer grid services to electric utilities. Now, and jumping in here, this is really big news, Tesla is launching its own virtual power plant in California to help the state's grid. Quote, "The California grid operator forecasts a continued need for Californians to support the grid through 2021. Help create the largest distributed battery system in the world and avoid dependence on the least efficient fossil fuel power plants. Opt in to the Tesla virtual power plant, and Tesla will dispatch your Powerwall when the grid needs support while continuing to maintain your energy security." California's grid is expected to have an exceptionally difficult few months, with record high temperature increasing energy demand on the grid and a significant drought affecting hydropower plants like the Hoover Dam. Tesla plans to enable homeowners in California who currently have Powerwalls to opt in to the virtual power plant program and allow some capacity of their energy storage to provide power to the grid. Now, I just want to take a little bit of a moment here to expand on exactly what's going on. Regular viewers of the channel will probably have seen my recent Trojan horse videos. If not, I'll explain. Tesla basically does one thing, and beneath the surface, they're actually building the infrastructure for something much bigger. A great example of this, Tesla embedding all of the necessary hardware in every single vehicle they've produced since October 2016, 5 years ago, that in the future, after using those vehicles to collect data and improve their full self-driving software, they could over the air deploy their fully autonomous software and the robo-taxi fleet awakens, printing billions, tens of billions, hundreds of billions, if not trillions of dollars of future annual revenue from their existing fleet of cars, which consumers paid for. This is really important. Consumers have already bought the vehicles, and these vehicles are now on roads today collecting data to train Tesla's full self-driving software to eventually solve autonomy and then deploy the robo-taxi fleet. This is an example of the Trojan horse. Everyone thinks, oh cool, Tesla, they've got some features. Yeah, advanced driver assist, that's cool. Next minute, Tesla has built out a fleet of data collection machines to train their full self-driving software to deploy autonomy and beat everyone to the punch. Tesla's deployment of home batteries and home solar is another example of this Trojan horse strategy. Tesla doesn't have to do anything in terms of hardware whatsoever to deploy a virtual power plant. All they need to do is run a little bit of code. Customers who already have a home battery can opt in. And now Tesla is controlling some of this energy and making money while doing so. Another example of the Trojan horse strategy. It looked like on the surface, well, Tesla's selling some home batteries. They're also selling some home solar. That's great for customers. That's really cool. Next minute, Tesla with their gigantic brains comes up with a software solution, much like full self-driving software, which literally over the air, without Tesla having to build any new hardware, without having to sell any new products, can suddenly enormously monetize existing assets in the hands of customers. In this case, becoming virtual power plants, helping to stabilize the grid, perform energy market arbitrage, and more. All right, we're nearly ready to move on, but I just want to emphasize this one more point because this is really, really, really important, okay? Tesla has the strategy where they get customers to pay for incredible hardware, great products, vehicles, home batteries, etc. Then, using their gigantic brains, Tesla thinks to themselves, how can we now create an incredible amount of additional value with these existing assets, vehicles, home batteries, etc., that not only provides a great service, e.g. robotaxis or grid stabilization, that in addition gives the customer who owns the original asset, the hardware, a huge financial incentive. For example, your car can autonomously make money for you as a robotaxi while you sleep, or your home battery can autonomously make money for you while you sleep, participating in the energy market. Do you guys understand the genius of what Tesla is doing here? This is on a whole other level. This emphasizes the importance, the criticality of Tesla's software capabilities after they've deployed tens of thousands, ultimately hundreds of thousands, millions, tens of millions of assets, vehicles, home batteries, and solar. Tesla, basically for free, can write a little bit of code and start printing themselves billions, tens of billions, hundreds of billions, eventually trillions of dollars of annual revenue basically out of thin air, and while doing so, enable their customers to also do the same thing for themselves, making it cheaper to own a Tesla vehicle, cheaper to own a Tesla battery because you're effectively subsidizing the cost of the hardware. The company lists some benefits of joining the Tesla virtual power plant in beta. Shout out to full self-driving beta. Remember, we talked about that earlier. This is another opportunity for Tesla to learn and ultimately scale this to ridiculous levels. Stabilize California's grid. The extra power capacity your Powerwall provides could help avoid or reduce blackouts in a severe emergency. This way, Powerwall can keep the lights on for both you and your community. Clean the grid. Tesla will dispatch your Powerwall when the grid is in critical need of additional power. That is when the least efficient generators will typically come online. This is the peak of power plants, usually coal-powered, really polluting, very energy inefficient. These are the kind of things that fire up when everyone gets home and turns on their air conditioning, or in the winter, their heaters. Unite as a Tesla community. Team up with other Powerwall owners who are accelerating the world's transition to sustainable energy and help form the largest distributed battery in the world, potentially over 50,000 Powerwalls. As part of the virtual power plant, your Powerwall will have an outsized positive impact on the grid over traditional demand response programs. Keep your energy security. Powerwall will discharge during virtual power plant events, but won't discharge below your backup reserve. Adjust your backup reserve to control your contribution while maintaining backup energy for outages. Export credits during peak periods, aka print money while you sleep. You don't need to change your home energy usage behavior to participate. Additionally, if you're part of a net energy metering program, you may earn net metering credit for your energy sent to the grid during events. Tesla plans to open up enrollments into the virtual power plant through its mobile app starting July 22nd. Regular viewers of this channel will know I'm a long-term investor. I literally give zero fucks about what's happening next week, next month, next year. I care about what's happening in the next 10, 15, 20 plus years. I like to look out into the distant future because that's where you can find the opportunities that everyone today is completely oblivious to because they have an inability to look out that far and understand the implications. They do not know what the word infer even means. And speaking of the word infer, we're going to do a little bit of inference right now. This game is called Tesla's $1 trillion secret, per the title of this video. Cast your minds forward to a time in the future where Tesla has sold tens, if not hundreds of millions of home batteries and home solar installations. Customers the world over are generating their own power and generating an excess of energy and involved in virtual power plants, participating in the energy market, stabilizing the grid, having made every peaker plant on planet Earth completely superfluous, closed them down, bankrupted many energy companies, bankrupted practically every oil and gas company on the planet, and absolutely destroyed every utility on the planet as well. And by the way, it's quite ironic, isn't it? In the short term, utilities actually need Tesla. They need their grid stabilization services. But over the long term, this very company, Tesla, is going to be the company that puts these utilities out of business. So, we're in the distant future. Power walls are everywhere. Solar's everywhere. It's not just Tesla home batteries, but Tesla software is able to power virtual power plants, even using assets produced by other companies. This is important. It's not just going to be Tesla home batteries, but Tesla software can be powering other batteries as part of Tesla's virtual power plants. At the beginning of this video, I assured you guys that I wasn't using the word trillions just as clickbait. I was dead f***ing serious, and this is exactly why. List of the largest companies by revenue. Some of you guys will have seen this, and it's quite fun to watch this list change over time, but it bears repeating. The second largest company on planet Earth by revenue is an energy company in the crosshairs of Tesla's virtual power plants. The fourth largest company on planet Earth, also an energy company, also directly in Tesla's crosshairs. You guys can see where this is going. Number 5, energy. Number 6, energy. Number 7, automotive. Number 8, energy. Number 9, automotive. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of the world's 10 largest companies by revenue directly in Tesla's crosshairs. And the vast majority of these companies, not automotive, but energy. Just the first 3 here, 400 billion in annual revenue, almost another 400 and almost another 400, already over $1 trillion of future revenue per year directly in the sights of Tesla. And the list goes on and on. So let's talk about Tesla stock. Now, I'm not sure how to say this gently, but the good thing is, being gentle, it's not really my style. I'd rather be direct. The average person out there is pretty fucking dumb. And that's just the average person. Half the people on planet Earth are even dumber than that. People don't like to think for themselves. They rather be told what to do, what to believe, and what to think. And this is why I view the stock market as a lagging indicator. By the time everyone, the average person in the stock market, thinks a certain stock is a great opportunity, most of the gains to be had have already been made by the people that had the vision, the awareness, and the insight, plus the ability to infer what the future looked like well ahead of time. So you might be thinking to yourself right now, Stephen, what are you trying to say? No more opportunity in Tesla stock? After all, it's already gone to the moon, 10x in about a year or so, the opportunity's gone. Is that what you're trying to say? Well, let's bring it back again to the average investor out in the marketplace. I personally believe today that the stock market is giving Tesla credit for being in a dominant position in automotive in 10 years' time. I also believe that the stock market is giving Tesla partial credit, probabilistically better than 50% chance that they'll be in a dominant position in terms of robotaxis at some point in the future too. So stage 1 of Tesla, everyone gets it now. They've won the decade. They're going to be a dominant automotive player. Duh. There's also a reasonable amount of software revenue being accounted for, especially in terms of robotaxis in the future. Not everything, but the stock market is certainly giving Tesla some credit. But that's where the story ends, in my opinion. I haven't seen a single analyst out in the marketplace, and by the way, this is probably not saying a lot. I don't have a huge amount of respect for most stock analysts covering Tesla stock, because most of them have no idea what the fuck they're talking about. Maybe they understand other companies and other technologies, but it has been truly embarrassing and eye-opening to see how little the average Wall Street analyst understands about Tesla and therefore Tesla stock. But the point I'm getting at here, I haven't seen a single analyst talking about the Tesla energy opportunity, period. Now look, I totally understand there's a few of them in their price target, oh yeah, $56 per share for Tesla energy, rah rah rah. But none of them are understanding what's going on here. None of them are thinking about distributed utilities, becoming a virtual power plant, energy arbitrage. They're not getting this. They're completely blind to this fact. And the same can be said of retail investors. In fact, the only person I've even seen discussing the Tesla energy opportunity and truly grasping what it means, at least in the mainstream finance media, is Chamath Palihapitiya. I personally think that today, Tesla's stock price isn't accounting for any of Tesla's future energy dominance. None whatsoever. This opportunity alone is something that Elon Musk has personally said he believes could be the same or even larger than Tesla's automotive business. And as we know, Tesla is aiming for 20 plus million electric vehicles sold per year at the end of this decade. The announcement of Tesla's California virtual power plant is a watershed moment in the company's history, in particular for Tesla Energy. And the point that I'm getting at in this video is that very few investors understand what's happening before their very eyes. I can guarantee you guys there's going to be literally no coverage whatsoever of the California virtual power plant in any of the mainstream finance media. Very few Tesla investors are going to be talking about this whatsoever. It's going to be drowned out by the noise around Tesla's recently announced full self-driving subscription service. But I'm telling you guys now, this is the area of the business to focus on. People understand the automotive business. They understand autonomy. Nobody's talking about energy. And oh yeah, just again want to mention the whole artificial intelligence thing, which is going to play in very closely to Tesla's virtual power plants in the future. Nobody's talking about Tesla AI either. I'm going to keep banging the drum on this opportunity until everyone is talking about it. As I mentioned earlier in this video, the stock market is a lagging indicator. The opportunity is before everyone is talking about it, and that's where we are with Tesla Energy. It is day one. I'm going to leave you guys with a little bit of food for thought. In my opinion, there are 4 visible catalysts for Tesla stock. In the future, who knows what else could happen, but right now, 4 that are bleedingly obvious to me. Yet the stock market is only at about 1.5. 1, automotive. 2, autonomy. 3, energy. And 4, artificial intelligence. If I'm right, and of course, it's possible I'm not, just like it's possible your girlfriend isn't currently sliding into my DMs with nudes, then Tesla stock today is dirt cheap. Now I know this sounds insane, they're already one of the world's most valuable companies, but I'm here to tell you today, my prediction is in 10 years time, Tesla is probably around a $6 trillion company with phenomenal growth still yet to come. And one final piece of food for thought. Oh, hang on a minute. Damn, son, I gotta get back to these messages. This is only including the things that to me today are already visible. Tesla has some of the world's best engineers and best leadership and a culture of innovation. Just think about the new opportunities, products and services that Tesla will come up with between now and then. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Are you guys and girls excited about the Tesla Energy opportunity? And also, is this something that you've been thinking about for a while as a Tesla shareholder? Be honest here, or is it something that you're only more recently starting to fully grasp? And by the way, don't forget, if you guys want to learn a little bit more about the grid as it is today, the shortfalls and how Tesla virtual power plants can make an enormous outsized difference, check out the book, The Grid, linked in the description. I gotta go. I'm Stephen Mark Ryan, this is Solving the Money Problem, and I love you all. And don't forget the BlockFi Bitcoin Rewards credit card where you can earn 1.5% Bitcoin back on every purchase. There's a link in the description. You can also earn up to $250 in crypto bonuses when funding a new account on BlockFi, also linked below. And finally, don't forget your free stocks with WeBull and Stake, also linked in the description. These great offers also help out the channel. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And of course, if you have any ideas for future videos, let me know. I read all your comments. P.S. If you're still watching, you're awesome. If you'd like early access, exclusive videos, regular Q&As, our private Discord server and more, consider supporting the channel at patreon.com/solvingthemoneyproblem so I can keep creating content for you guys. There's a link in the description. You can now also become a member of the channel for some exclusive perks. To learn more, click the join button next to subscribe. And don't forget to check out our merch store. Either way, the best form of support is you being here and watching, so thanks again.